welcome to episode 69 of Talking Small Press Comics with Steve Keeter and myself, Larned Justin. 69 episodes, Steve. How about
69?
that?
69. Holy mackerel. How do we do that? And you and I, you and I are in every single episode. Did you know that?
That's amazing. Yeah. I don't know how we did that either. Yeah. But
for a couple
we'll have
of
to have
geezers.
a celebration on 70.
Yeah, absolutely. Or 75. We give a celebration every time. Every episode we can celebrate.
Well, we could do that. I was thinking maybe you would bake a cake for the 70th.
I do want to say something. I wanted to say something because make sure I'm pointing in the right. I want to say that this is this person is the greatest inspiration to me. One of the finest beings I have ever known and that ever walked the planet. This guy right here. This guy right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to say how much I appreciate all that he does.
Yeah.
And tell everybody how great you are. I'm great. Yeah, see?
Oh, girl. Right.
So, hey, I'll tell you what else. And I was just in the restroom. Okay. This is bathroom humor, but it's not, whatever. I'm just saying it's just an observation because I was like, sitting there. You know what you do when you go in the restroom. And I see this ant. I see this ant crawling along the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And my first instinct is to, step on that and crush him.
Yeah.
But if you stop and think about it, this is God's creation. God's creation is right here, and you're going to step on it. What if the ant was the big one and you were the little one, and the ant saw you crawling about? What would the ant do? Same thing?
Step on you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we want to get them first.
That makes sense to me. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're off to a rousing start here, everybody.
Yeah, we got books to do. Nobody cares about ants.
Yeah.
They're here for the books. Comic books.
Yeah, we got some comic
books.
Some people send us some comics. I got this one.
First? Oh, yeah.
I got this one. From the awesome
Improbable Girl and the Wonder Kitty.
Right. I call it Improba Kitty. Improba Kitty.
Improba Kitty.
Improba Kitty number
10.
Yeah. 10 issues. Can you believe it? From the great Joe Eli Carrales.
And the cover, that beautiful cover there is Trish Ellis.
Trish Ellis that's a super awesome. Because we did a test and I said, the mic's here and I need to put the book on this side. So right away I start putting the book on this side so you can't hear me.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, but it works
anyway,
so much for the test.
Nice cover there. Really
That's a great cover. That's a brilliant cover. She had the cover. Who did the last couple of covers? Don Simpson?
Simpson did the last couple. Now, I don't know Trish Ellis, but she's very good.
Yeah, it's quite an awesome cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is an interesting story because it's a crossover between Joe Carrales characters, Marie and Nico,
mm-hmm.
The Improbable Girl and the Wonder Kitty,
mm-hmm.
and one of Ryan, I guess it's Howitt, Howitt, H-O-W-A-T-T, Ryan Howitt's character.
I guess you would say it. I don't know.
Howitt. And
that's his character.
He is a character called the Badger.
Badger, yeah. And here's you can see the Badger right here in this last panel.
Right there.
That's him.
Yeah, there he is. And here he is.
Sure, Joe drew that, but Ryan let him use the character as well.
Right, Ryan's character, and it's interesting because first of all, it's a beautifully. The production on this book is outstanding. I mean, it's just great, full color, and you can't knock it. And Joe's artwork is better than ever. This is the beginning of a new story arc. A new story arc
on the Trapped Planet.
The Trapped Planet.
You know what I would have said? Trapped on the Lost Planet. But who am I?
On the lost planet.
Yeah,
something
but
like
it's
that.
lost on the trapped planet.
Yeah, and there's our heroines, you know, Marie and Nico.
Oh yeah, same heroines. Yeah.
And Marie does actually get to use her powers in this story. Joe said that he had received comments from people that, you know, why isn't she using her powers? But it's a slow build.
Are you holding that in front of the mic? I'm sorry.
I am. I guess I have to talk down into the mic though. Yeah. If I talk down like this, so yeah, this mic is very location specific. So I might try a different mic next time. But yeah, it's a clash of cultures. There's two worlds.
Yeah, two different.
It begins the Badger's planet.
They're not just different areas in the same world. They're completely different.
Yeah. The Badger's planet looks like something in old ancient European or
that's what I would think like, too, because if you look at it here, look at that. They got they don't even have electricity, I don't think. You know, it's very, very, it's a fantasy, and this is a typical fantasy world right here.
And it says, behold, the strange and arcane realm of, I guess it's called Jinmond, a land of curious beauty found just 1/1,000,000th of a step beyond the darkest shadows of our twilight. The Twilight Zone.
Where are the darkest shadows of our twilight?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. That might be some of our videos that didn't turn out right. They were
is that where they live?
Shadows of our twilight. That's
where they live.
Yeah, we had a couple of clunkers, but somewhere in those clunkers, you know, it's I don't know, but but it begins in what it looks like an English tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're all in this tavern, and they're just talking about stuff. You meet the Badger. You meet Badger, and you meet Katori, who has a bow and arrow, and I guess that's purple hair. I'm colorblind, but I think somebody said it was purple.
Yes,
maybe it's blue. Yeah.
Which for some reason she doesn't have in the first couple panels, but she has.
That's because it's not her in the first couple of panels. I thought the same thing. That's a different person.
That's two different people.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
I did the same thing. I had to back up because, you know,
it's two different girls.
It's two ladies. So you look back and say, well, that's a different lady. She just has different color hair.
Yeah.
And they both have pointed ears.
Yes, they do. And so do you.
I do?
Oh, I thought
Did you say so do you?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, I got pointed ears, huh? Cool. Yeah, cool.
Pointed ears.
Live long and prosper.
Okay. Getting back to the improbable girl, like you say, the story does switch back to modern day. The girls are in the Air Force.
They're in the Air Force. They are captains in the Air Force.
Air Force, yes.
And they are jealous because they want to be promoted to major.
And in order to do that, they have to put on an air show. That's one of the requirements.
But that's not all. They have to put on an air show, and they also have to clean out this. There's a hangar. Well,
yeah, that's perfect. You know, they told them you can have the air show, but you got to clean out that hangar. Look at that.
In fact, it's a 4-step process. That's only one of the steps. One of the steps is to clean out this hangar, which is full of old boxes and stuff. In the process of doing this, something happens.
Well, they kind of get in a portal hole, don't they?
Yeah, they get catapulted to another dimension. Apparently, there's an old computer, an old style computer that serves as a dimensional gateway.
Yeah.
This guy, Eric, he goes off to the other dimension. Yeah, there he goes. In that picture you were showing there. There he goes right there. All of a sudden. So they follow him. our heroes, our heroines, they follow him into the other dimension. And that's where they become acquainted with the Badger. I have a favorite panel in this issue, if I can find it here. Yeah. So, they come up, okay. They meet General Meekwand and Dripquatch, his associate. I don't know what they were thinking about when they came up with these names, but the best thing is right here when somebody says, okay, his lordship, the general, seeks a mystic object, the fire amulet of Alsamsine. And this other lady says, you're out of luck. It was lost decades ago. Suddenly, Badger bursts in. He's unaware of what's going on. He says, behold, I am Badger the Bard, master of flame. Prepare to be entertained. And he holds up a lighter and he says, behold, the fire amulet of Alsamsine. So he's got it. He actually has it. And he doesn't know what's going on. So he jumps in there and announces it. And that was the funniest panel in the entire issue.
And of course, they say, Badger, you damned idiot.
You damn idiot. So anyway, Marie and Nico, they're there in the midst of all this madness. Here they are.
I'm trying to find them in here. Oh, here they are. I couldn't find them.
Really nice artwork.
There they are on that page in that planet. On the,
I'm getting a glare.
The trapped planet that they're on.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever quite says that, but that's where they're at, the trapped planet.
Yeah, they're trapped on this. They're trapped on this planet, and then it goes on. Oh,
no, they're not trapped on the planet. Are they?
I think they were there to. I read this a couple of nights ago, but I think they're there to rescue.
They're lost. They're lost on the trapped planet.
Lost on the trapped planet. Yeah. And they befriend Badger and the other lady. I have to look back again. Katori. But let me see. There's something. I was just looking at it, and I lost it because that's how my brain works, or doesn't work. But there is a chance when the bad guys, the minions of the bad guys, are attacking, that Nico gets to use her transformation powers to turn into a big black leopard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see right here they're not too happy about that. So, and there she goes. So she may seem like a fragile young lady, but not when she's got fangs and claws and she's attacking you head on.
Well, I'm telling you, you better pay attention when you read this, because there's a lot to it. And
this is part one.
Puts in a lot of yellow boxes that explain things to you. You've got to read all those. You got to read this carefully. There's a lot of characters to remember, and a lot going on in two different locations, two different dimensions, maybe. So there's a lot going on, and we're not going to give it all away because that would ruin the whole book. But
then again, it's a continued story, so you don't have to give it all away. So we don't know how this is going to end, but it's off to a pretty darn good start.
Yeah, it is continued. I can tell you that, but I'm not going to show you the last page.
Yeah. Well, speaking of characters to remember, here's a picture of a character right here at the end of the issue with mustache and without mustache.
Yeah.
And excuse me, there's an interview with Steve Keeter, whoever that is. That's at the end of the issue.
Interview Steve Keeter. And he says a lot. Look at all those words. Look at the
Yeah,
words.
there's a lot of words.
Yeah.
But
Steve said all the words. It's
Joe said a lot too. He had some.
Oh, Joe said words too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not only one page. There's 2 pages.
Two pages.
2 pages. You see.
Followed by the UFO checklist.
No, I'm talking about the interview goes for 2 pages.
Right. Yeah, it's 2 pages long. I had no idea. When he sent me these questions, I just, sometimes I just start typing and stuff just comes out, all the stops are pulled and it's just all these thoughts come through. And he's asking me about history, my history with the UFO, with small press, and on and on and on and on. And the same with Joe. His questions began to get very involved. Yeah. And then, but we just went on, and I'm not saying it's the best part of the issue, but it's my favorite part. And I'm just kidding. But I was flattered that Joe wanted to interview me and highlight that and feature that in this excellent book, The Improbable Girl and the Wonder Kitty.
Yep. It's
number 10.
$10 from Joe, and the story's 28 pages long, and then you got a couple extra pages in the back.
Yeah.
So $10 for that.
Yeah.
Very good. Very nice.
So
as always, Joe, good job.
Joe, you did it again, man. You keep on impressing us, pal. Keep it up. He is the busiest guy that I know of.
Oh, he does a lot. Yeah.
I mean, he teaches. He's in
a mariachi band.
Mm-hmm. And what's the name of that?
Civil Air Patrol.
Civil Air Patrol. He's in the Civil Air Patrol, and he's busy all the time and doing comics, and he does all this stuff, and he's always got a smile on his face.
Yeah,
always got a smile. So Joe is a person who seems to really enjoy life and living it to the fullest, cramming in as much fun stuff as he can. And you can tell he really enjoys all the things that he does.
Right.
So, yeah. So there you go, Joe. We said nice things about you. Send us some money, please.
Okay. What do we got next?
Okay. Now, this is interesting. This one is called Angel Dust.
Oh, can I do a little, before we start that, we have actually 3 comics from that artist. And I wanted to say that I found here in St. Louis an artist group, cartoonist group that I did not know existed even. And it's called Ink and Drink. And they have their meetings at the Schlafly Brewery, which is convenient for drinking. And so I went to the meeting, the last meeting. They have a meeting every 3rd Monday of the month. Every month, every 3rd Monday. So I went to the last one, and I had an opportunity to tell everybody that we do this show. We have this show, and we talk about small press comics. And one of the guys came up to me, and he said, "Hey, I've got my comics with me. Would you want to take them and do them on the show?" He gave me 3 for Steve and 3 for myself, and I said, "Sure." So these are the comics that he gave us.
That's amazing.
But the other interesting thing is, not only did he give us his comics, he gave us a write-up of a little bit of his history and a little bit about each comic. Because, these comics are a little different than anything we usually review, I would say. Don't you think, Steve? They're a little different.
Some of these, at least 1 or 2 of these is for
these are adult comics.
Mature readers. Yeah.
Yeah, mature readers, adults. You don't want the kids getting a hold of these, but anyway, so we have them. Which one you wanted to do? Angel Dust first?
We can start with Angel Dust.
Okay, Angel Dust. I'm just going to refer to his write-up real quick. He says Angel Dust has a print run of $2.50 and costs $10 plus shipping, usually about $1.25. It was based on a dream I had years ago But as I kept writing and drawing, my wife said that it had become deeper. It turns out Angel Dust is really about me dealing with the loss of my mother as well as other things. I had been coming to terms with other things I had been coming to terms with. The story could easily fit into a David Lynch film or the latest some French New Wave film, he says. But this is it. This is Angel Dust.
And the guy's name is Scott Roth, also known as Paco
Manchild. Is
Manchild.
very cool. Yeah, his pen name is Paco Manchild.
Paco Manchild.
Very cool.
Scott Roth is apparently is his real name. So,
but here's Angel Dust.
Mm-hmm.
And
it starts out like this.
Yeah, it is very much a dream type comic, I would say.
But
it's very, like you see here, very much a dream.
You see the telescope, you see the sky, then you see the telescope, then you see the guy looking in the telescope.
Yeah.
And, something's going on.
Keeps going on.
Out there. And he sees
something out there, I guess.
He sees something out there. I'm not going to. You can see that it's a female
really show
form.
The next page, but
this one we can show because it's far away, and
but it gets intense. Scott really, you can see what he pours into these things. This thing really gets intense. It just the way he draws it. He draws it violently. I would say,
Yeah.
A lot of feeling in there.
But this guy encounters this female form out there in space, and suddenly she starts looking rather demonic.
Yeah, exactly. Here's another page that a lot of intensity.
Right. And this one here, you see what happens when you get too close to a demonic female in outer space.
It blows your nose. That's for sure.
It blows your nose, and you end up, like that on the floor and all sorts of pieces.
But he does get around to his mother in here. Later, here's some panels with his mother when he's talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in there.
It starts out rather poignant.
Yeah.
Starts out that way. But then I like some of the detail in his artwork. Look at this.
Oh, I looked at that too. I thought that was the best page in the book.
Yeah.
I won't be able to find it, but you got it. So that is very cool. Look at the lights.
Town.
A lot of pen and ink work, and the lights.
You're right. The lights.
When
people are under the lights.
Yeah.
You can see they're lit up.
Yeah. That's very nice. Yeah, here it is.
So that's
that is
very, very well done.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So
that's that. It's it is what it is. It's a dream with a few other things thrown in. And
it starts to get weird, It starts to get weird, and the young man starts to be where am I at? So this page here, not too happy about it. Please stop, Mom. So things aren't going, in quite the happy way that maybe he thought it would. But it's a strange dream, a strange, weird doctor enters the dream.
And here's the back page, and I think that's him. But anyway, very, very different. Very different.
And bees do enter, or I guess they're bees. They do enter into the story at some point.
Yeah.
So and there's different parts of this.
There's quite a bit to it. So
I mean, it gets to the point where things are getting very intense, and this page goes die. So like already the guy's realizing that maybe things aren't going in a happy direction. So he's like, no, and he starts to rebel. I don't know. You ever have a dream and it's really scary and you realize you're dreaming and you say, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake
It
up.
seems so real. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
that's sort of what happens like.
I never even think to write them down or, try and do a comic on them. On a crazy dream. I never even think of that, but Scott did.
Just some people do. I mean, H.P. Lovecraft used to write down his dreams, and he would wake up right away and write down his dreams. And he wrote entire stories about his dream, based on his dreams. I've heard of other artists. I think Larry Johnson did that for a while too. I think so. I think it was Larry Johnson. He would wake up and he would put his dreams down on paper.
He does that still all the time.
Yeah.
All right, the next one from Scott is Fish Tank #1. And let me just tell you, I'll read what he says about Fish Tank #1. Fish Tank Comics #1, which is basically a collection of all those random stories I had done for the past 30 years while I was raising a family. Some stories are pretty straightforward. Some go off the rails in weirdness. The book is a limited print run of 250 copies, costs $5 and $1.25 shipping. And this is it right here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right. It just does have a lot of strange stories in it.
But he's kind of a master of macabre artwork.
Mm-hmm.
You might say macabre or however they say it in England, but we say macabre. And you can see that, and plus the detail, nice inks and everything. This is just the contents page. Even that's nicely designed.
Stories in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 or 7 stories in here.
Yep.
And I don't know whether we can show everything or not, but once again, I'm going to say that Fish Tank Comics, there you go.
Yeah. You can see a stylistic artwork.
The intensity again with Scott. He just, I'm one of those guys, I'm drawing a nice line and going along and making funny comics or whatever I'm doing, but he's feeling what he's doing.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why it looks like that.
And he's even got, since I mentioned Lovecraft, he's got Cthulhu, an illo there, and these are quite well done. Horror fantasy illustrations done
and then right in the middle, there's a story of him and his buddies just getting together and watching a movie.
Right. I think they're watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right?
That's what they're trying to watch. Yeah. There's a couple girls there, but all the guys have long hair. Yeah. And the girls, it's a little bit, I was a little confused on which was a girl and which was a guy a little bit.
I was too. I was going to mention that. Because they have long hair.
Guys have long hair. Because this is back, I don't know how long ago this actually happened. It may have been in the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He might mention that. Let's see. Movie night. Let me see what he says in the front.
Yeah, this is a regular, straightforward comic.
There's no date on that. Yeah, I remember when I was a teenager and I grew my hair really long, and that's before I could really grow this, remarkable mustache. I lived in a small town in North Carolina, and I would be walking down the street, and somebody would roll their window down and whistle at me. So I was standing, they didn't know. So that's the thing about younger people,
Yeah.
At least put on, if you want people to know the difference between you and the ladies, at least put on a fake mustache. Grab one that you can glue on. Yeah.
And there's some things in here we're not going to show on the screen, but they're included in here.
There is a story in here. They're all well written. They're all well drawn. I'm not going to show much of this, but there's a story called Love Has No Ends. Yeah.
And that is Paco Manchild right there with the mustache and the goatee. That's what it looks like.
Really?
Yeah.
He looks like that, huh?
Mustache curls a little more than he
That's
shows there.
distinguished.
It curls up on the side.
This story is definitely for mature readers, definitely.
Yeah.
But again, well told, well written.
Yeah.
He has his art style is really nice because he can.
You know, I don't know what this would mean, but in Patton we trust.
In Patton we trust. I'm not sure. It might be something.
That's the back cover.
Yeah, it might be something in the issue that alludes to that, but
there might be. I don't know. I don't remember seeing anything, but anyway,
that's definitely not General Patton. That's not George C. Scott.
So. See, I thought of that because it's not George C. Scott.
But he goes between doing scary horror stuff.
Yeah, and then straight regular little story. Yeah.
Yeah, the story that you mentioned before. This is more of a cartoony style.
Yeah, regular cartooning. And these may have been done over different years. You know, he said they're over the last 30 years. Yeah. And in his little write-up that he sent us, he said he started looking into small press comics in 1987. And he didn't do much with it for a while. But, he started in 1987 looking at them and thinking he was going to do something.
Well, he's extremely talented. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. And he's got one more book. And I'll just read what he says about the next one. This is Fish Tank Comics number 2.
Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah. Fish Tank Comics
My Night with Al.
2.
Fish Tanks Comics.
And finally, while I was working on Fish Tank Comics number 2, Ed Piskor took his own life. And we've all seen that online.
Yeah.
And that really affected me deeply. I hadn't realized how much of an influence his work and show had been influencing me. Ed Piskor had a daily show about comics.
Yep.
I had great sadness, and it reminded me of my other friends that have passed on already. My Night with AI is the story of me and one of my close friends, Jimbo, who found our way into the band Ministry's room one night. They were at a concert, Lollapalooza concert, and they wandered into the band's room. And I don't think the band even noticed it.
The band let them in, but they said, okay, you can come in, but you have to stand against the wall over there.
Yeah, something like that.
And while all this deviant behavior was going on in front of them, the guy asked them at the door, you got any drugs? So you know where the band was coming from. This is Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
The band was it Ministry?
Ministry. Yeah. Do you know them? I didn't recognize the name.
The name sounds familiar, but I never listened to them.
Yeah, they were big fans.
I always listened to Donnie and Marie and the Arch. I'm just kidding, but
I love Lawrence Welk. A lot of Lawrence Welk music.
Lawrence Welk, yeah. I used to watch his show. I was a heavy metal guy, but I don't know.
I was a Grateful Dead guy. But anyway.
I love the Grateful Dead too. Yeah. The long jams that they did and everything.
But anyway. Again, nice cartooning, straightforward story. The whole book is a story, and it's kind of cool to see what they did. Nice
artwork.
Stumbling into the band's room, and just wanted to meet them, so they did that. They just knocked on the door and came in.
And then a little later, they ended up in a restaurant with the band.
With the band, yeah. Cool.
So I really like this one. I like this one a lot.
This is great.
Yeah, it's a great little comic.
I think I said this one was how much? $3 plus postage.
Okay.
And
I'll trust you on that.
I have a page count here. I don't see a page count, but there's quite a few pages.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely worth it for that price. Are you kidding? It's a steal. That's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Good comic. Excellent comic.
And just to let you know, the way you contact Paco Manchild is Instagram at Paco Manchild or Facebook Messenger, and tell him you want a comic. He'll tell you how to get it and all that kind of thing. So, and I'll have that information down in the description. So thank you, Paco.
Definitely. And now,
to
the creme de la creme.
Yep, this is it.
The the moment you've all been waiting for. We always save it for the end. New comics from Steve Willis.
Steve Willis, Cranium Frenzy, number 33.
This is number 33.
Right. This is about food. And you see in the first inside cover, this cactus has a dream about food.
King Cactus is hungry. Num 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 num.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's food for thought. Which means he was kind of dreaming, thinking about food, woke up and ate the pillow.
He ate the pillow.
Yeah. Then it switches to still about food, but cats.
Yeah, it switches to a feline community here.
Yes.
And they're all talking about it. They can't allow this kind of behavior. Eating pillows is not allowed. And it has something to do with AI, they're saying, although this is definitely not AI. Steve Willis, I don't think, would probably never use AI, I don't think. Would you, Steve?
I think
you don't need it.
I gotta have my glasses on to read this. But
yeah. The pillow-eating cactus running amok was our first big red flag. The creature was a product of artificial intelligence. We cats don't like the fact it was more disruptive than us. So they're jealous of the cactus for being more disruptive than the cats. And so they're deliberating. They're saying they knew they had to take steps to resolve this, but no one wanted to say the obvious part out loud.
Which was after a long awkward pause right here.
Long pause. And then they realized that
the one cat broke the silence right there.
The time has come for us to swallow our pride and contact.
Must come to an end. They have decided they've had enough of AI.
And there he is. They have to contact, they hate it, but they have to contact the only person who can resolve the problem, and that is Morty the dog.
Morty the dog is the only one that's going to be able to help him.
So Morty enters into the picture, and they have a kind of a truce going here. But Morty wants them. If they want his help, they have to pay. They have to.
Well, see, he's watching hockey, and they interrupt him.
Right.
He's got,
Not too
one
happy
evening,
about
I'm just
that.
sitting around minding my own business, watching the Charlestown Chiefs beating the crap out of the Syracuse Bulldogs in ice hockey playoffs, and these cats butt right in while he's watching it.
So Morty demands, if he's going to help them, he demands an apology from them. For years, you guys have pranced around with your snooty little button noses in the air, declaring cats rule, dogs drool. So they're going to have to apologize, and they don't want to do it. Yeah. And so at first, very sheepishly, this cat says, I apologize, or I'm sorry, and he keeps demanding more. He wants to hear it, and we don't want to hear a sheepish.
Look, the guy says, apologize, but look at the print.
Yeah,
it's very small. The dog couldn't even
print.
Yeah. You got to do better than that. I can't hear you. Well, he says it's just a little bit louder in this panel. Not much louder, though.
Morty keeps demanding more and more. I mean, that's not enough until he gets the entire panel of cats. We are very, very, very sorry, or and Okay. So then Morty has a secret plan, and it involves cooking.
It's cooking again. It gets back to the cooking.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Sebastian Cabot is in this issue.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Sebastian Cabot. I saw that too. Right.
Yeah, he's in here.
He just pops in, and it's an in joke, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Sebastian Cabot's in there. So anyway, this is typical Steve Willis. Hilarious, crazy, different than anybody else. And it's always great. Yep.
Yeah, it gets. It's an insane science fiction, fantasy, funny animal, whatever you want to call this comic.
Yeah. With the cats and Morty the dog. Yeah.
Xylophobia. Oh my goodness. It's kind of dark in here, so it's hard for me to read the small type. I do have my mighty magnifying glass. We don't want to give too much away because there's a lot of funny panels in here. If we give it all away, then okay, that's what it is. Xylophagia. Xylophagia has something to do with it, which is an obsession that causes people to become addicted to eating paper.
Oh.
So Morty cooks up a special recipe that only he knows to and feeds it to these people.
Well, he
happily consuming it.
Wait a minute. He dipped the copies. He says, I dipped my copies of my Luddite manifesto in the soup. I cooked up, making sure they were soaked and the text was mixed into the special ingredients. So he cooked the text of his manifesto. And he's cooking it here.
It gets crazy after that. If it wasn't crazy before.
And he's saying words as he's cooking the manifesto.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And these guys, they're unable to contain the conflicting views that they were getting. Their thoughts flew up, but their rehearsed words remained earthbound. So their thoughts, and you see all these thought balloons going up and up and up over several panels here, are going way up into the sky.
Yeah.
And causing some sort of a reaction. I don't want to give away the ending.
Can't give away the ending, but it is typical Steve, different than anybody else.
Absolutely. A true original. I mean, totally original. Mine came with this.
When you get one of these, go ahead.
Oh, mine came with this, the extra drawing.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, when you get one of these, you get an original Morty the comic, and I have this one right here. Doesn't say anything. It's just a picture.
He says originals. That means that Larned doesn't have the one I have, and I don't have the one he has.
I have different ones. Yeah.
But that's really cool. That's really excellent. And I think we got one more.
Yeah, we have Cranium Frenzy number 34, the latest issue.
Mm-hmm. The cats in the big band on the front.
Yeah. And oh boy, here's where I love this. This is Ballad of Palindrome, and if you remember Paladin from the old TV show Paladin.
Was it like Gunsmoke or something a long time ago?
Yeah, he was a bounty hunter, and that's his card. He always showed his card in the beginning.
And Sebastian Cabot's in there too.
This card says "Step on no pets," but I don't think Paladin's card actually said that. But once again,
Sebastian Cabot.
Sebastian Cabot is in here.
So Now, the Ballad of Paladin, he said it's based on that song, The Ballad of Paladin. I didn't remember, so I had to look it up. I went online and I went on YouTube, The Ballad of Paladin, and I heard the song and saw the actor and everything.
Oh yeah.
If Richard, he wasn't on Gunsmoke, then
what was his name? Richard. His real name.
I don't remember. Richard, I didn't write it down, but I did hear the song, so it cracked me up. Putting the song to Steve's lyrics.
The palindrome, I guess it has to use, in the first word, it has to use the last word backwards. Is that right? So, like that one.
You got me on that one.
Step on no pets. And the reason it says step on no pets is because pets is the last word. And if you spell it backwards, it spells step. See how that works? That's how it works. Yeah. It took me a while to figure that out.
Palindrome, you ate UFO tofu, palindrome, a taco cat or you. I don't think we saw this in the original TV series.
No, he was, as far as I know, Paladin was never a taco.
Never a taco cat? No.
No, I don't think so. But Steve thinks he was. And now we have Cooking with Steve.
Okay.
And there's
this
Steve.
Is a big deal. This is a big deal. Yeah, cooking with SW.
Yep.
And this takes over most of the entire issue.
Yeah, he gives you the complete recipe for corn dog casserole.
Mm-hmm. And he does. You can see Steve himself in there.
Yep.
There he is. He's working on. That looks a little Robert Crummish right there. Maybe by coincidence, whatever. It's still cool. But he's in there with his chef's hat. Oh, and he does say that in real life he does have a chef hat like that. He mentions that in the issue.
I like where he's chopping stuff and choppity. Got to chop up stuff, you know. And I think he's chopped off his hand. Look at the hand.
Whoa, what page is that?
Where it says choppity, there's a hand floating.
Choppity. I'm on a different page now.
Oh, I think he cut his hand off.
Yeah. That's not all. And this is alarming. This is shocking and alarming. But in this panel here, it looks like the Buttercube brothers.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
We haven't seen for a while, but
being born alive, being cooked up. Yeah. I'm glad they made it apparent.
Yeah.
We missed the Buttercube brothers. Haven't seen them recently.
And, you can't cook them. Crying out loud.
Yeah, I see the choppity. Yeah, and his hand will go flying through the air. That's on the next page. So now I see it.
Yeah.
But most of the issue is this recipe, and it appears to be an actual recipe.
I think it's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is a real recipe.
In the end, he ends up, Steve himself, listening to Beethoven Symphony No. 7, Allegretto 2, to set the correct mood.
Yes, he's having dinner.
This band of cats.
A corn dog casserole dinner with a band. He's wearing a tux, and he's got his hair down.
So all that hard work was well worth it in the end.
That's right.
So
that's right. And tying up loose ends, I like too. That's the next story.
Yeah.
And you know what the loose ends are? They're parts of conversations over the years that he never quite finished. So he finishes them here in this story. For instance, and the porcupine said to the anteater, "That's no giant eyeball. It's a kumquat in a hat box." Now, see, that's the end of a conversation from years ago.
Right.
So put the end of the conversation in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And he had been doing videos about the world's funniest joke, the world's most hilarious joke or something like that.
That could have been
but it. Something happens, there's a lot of noise, and you can't hear the middle of the joke. So all you get is the beginning and the punchline, and it doesn't make any sense. But even here, the middle is still missing, but we have the punchline again. Steve, he's just freaking genius, man. So, yeah. All that going
these
on.
are all pieces of conversation that were around, and I can't even explain it.
Somebody is also
gotta get the issue.
somebody is talking to himself or something. Steve shows the absurdity of real life people.
Yeah.
Listening to their cell phone, or talking on their cell phone, and where am I at? Anyway, it's see the guy with some gizmo in his ear jabbering away to someone on the other side. He's acting like an idiot, but he doesn't care. So the guy's blah, 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 blah. He's on the phone. See the girl buried in her handheld device, blabbering loudly about nothing while ignoring the world around her. Blah, 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 blah. So they're all on their cell phones. And we see this every day. I see this in the pharmacy where I work. People come to the counter and they're on the phone, and I can hardly, sometimes I just tell them, when you finish your phone conversation, come back and then I'll help you. If they're coming to pick up their prescription or whatever, blah, 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 blah. People everywhere you go. And you can't always tell. Sometimes they have, earpieces in. And they're talking. They look like they're walking around talking, and they're insane. They're talking to themselves. But that's 2024 technology, folks. People walk around looking like blathering idiots, and some of them are, and some of them just look that way.
Yeah,
it's very profound for me to say that. I think. Yeah.
Now, if you want these comics,
yeah, there's one more I want to say something because this is great. This guy is talking, he's going back in time. He's talking about a little girl that he saw on the other side of a glass. He has this memory. Okay, where's it at? So it's right here. Of this little girl that he saw. And she knocked on the glass. And when he turned around and okay, it's hard to
she made a nasty face.
Right here. So she turned around and she stuck her tongue out and blah.
Yeah.
So it's like 60, 70 years later or something, and he encounters her again. And yeah,
she's quite a bit older.
But she's quite a bit older. She's very old. And here she is. And she sneaks up. She taps on his shoulder, and he turns around, and the same thing.
Years later, she's never changed.
They never, it's the same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Yeah. So, the back cover's funny. Passing in the night. You have these two like half cats. They're like half of a face of a cat.
Yeah.
But they're heading towards each other. In the middle, it's like an eclipse. It all comes together,
and then they go the other way.
They pass, and now they're going the other way. The half faces are in the other direction.
Oh my gosh! Well, like I was going to say, to get one of these, you need to send Steve a trade if you do comics, or some stamps or something, but no money. There's no price. And once he gets you on his mailing list, you are on it.
His comics are priceless.
Yeah. Collector's items, each one. Yep.
Yeah.
And again, he also sends, here's a Morty comic. This one has Wile E. Coyote, actually.
Oh, yeah?
And one Acme H-bomb. He got an H-bomb, an Acme H-bomb.
he put two different illos on sticky notes and put them together. So wow. I got a twofer.
Yeah,
I got a twofer there.
And I got a little one that opens up like this.
Yep, I got one too. A little mini comic.
Yeah.
Is that an original?
This is, I think, an original. Yes.
Yeah. You didn't get this one, right? It's different.
Yeah, it is different. Yours is that the front of yours? Yeah, mine's different.
That's the front. Yeah, this is the back.
That's the back of mine.
So they are, in fact, originals. Morty comic number 8565.
These are not copied.
Yeah.
They're originals.
I'll tell you, Steve always delivers, man. He always delivers. There's nobody else like him.
No.
New comics, period, not just small press. Mm-hmm.
Now, we ought to look at that because the guy is seems to be talking about time. That's 3 o'clock. The middle one says 0. I'm confused on how to read that. You know how to read that? It's 7 o'clock, 0, 3, 0.
I would have to enlarge it somehow on my screen. It's not really large. Yeah. Yeah. 3 o'clock.
3.
7 o'clock. 11 o'clock. It looks like 7 o'clock again.
7 o'clock.
I don't know.
And then down below it says 3, 0, 11, 0.
Okay. Okay.
And
well, I don't know.
Some guys talking.
Maybe we might be pondering this for a long time.
Could be.
Might not be able to sleep tonight because we're pondering this, and maybe that's what he intended.
Apparently,
everything he does doesn't make perfect sense. But then again, of course, it's Steve Willis's comics.
It's not supposed to.
Right. Yep.
Oh boy.
This one says, I hereby declare the phrase at the end of the day to be null and void from overuse. And then somebody else says, also, that being said, plus somebody else says, finding his lane. I mean, so that's another way you can think about it. You know, these phrases are null and void. So if Steve says so, then that's the way it is. That's the way it has to be. Yeah. He's created his own world, his own bizarre, hilarious world, and we're all drawn into it, whether, you know, I don't want to say whether we like it or not, because we like it. It's just that I wonder what, you know, you talk about people that you go to sleep at night and you wake up and you draw your dreams. I wonder what Steve Willis's dreams are like.
I never did that. What would come out? Holy cow. Man. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff this time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sending us all this cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd appreciate it if you know, I know it's a little difficult to send Steve a copy and me a copy, but if you do, we'll promote them best we can on here. Like I say, our next show will be our 70th episode.
70.
Steve is baking a cake for that. And,
absolutely.
You don't want to miss that.
Yeah. Bake a cake. Yep.
And we got some ideas for some more interviews coming up too.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Steve, you had an idea for an interview. So,
there were some words between Floyd Sumner and I. We were talking, and he interviewed me a while back, and I think it's about time for us to interview him.
So we may be doing that in the future. We'll see what his schedule looks like, and
right, maybe in a couple of weeks.
I have a schedule, and Steve does have a schedule. Yeah. So.
And Floyd Sumner, what a talent he is. I mean, he's one of the top, one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
And he's so funny. And he goes to every convention on the planet. You know, I see his Facebook page, and he's on a page, and he's on another convention. Now he's at this convention. Now he's at this convention. Yeah. And wow, it was a super talent. Great artist, great guy. And hopefully we'll be interviewing him shortly.
That should be great. Yeah, looking forward to that one. So. Okay, well, I think we're going to wrap it up. I think we've done all the damage we can do.
That's it.
And
you have destroyed.
I guess we will see you next time. Bye.
Adios.